So, this is a very experimental live stream. I have not done this ever before, but I have been, as far as streaming what I'm about to do, we are planning a challenge for next week. It's going to be happening Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for Kingdom Messengers. And I have built out a number of these. Uh, Sort of the challenge landing page, the videos, the ads for the challenge. And so, what I thought I would do if this helps someone out is to just go live. We have put all the pieces together throughout the week, and so now I'm going to kind of tie it all together, put the landing page together, do the design work, and finish up the video editing, and then go from there and just publish the whole thing later today. So I thought it may be fun to just stream this. If anybody is interested in this, we're going to be looking at Premiere. I'm going to show you how we plan out our tasks in Notion and kind of put our whole process together in Notion. And then I'm also going to show you how we're going to build out the Clickfunnels, and we'll do some custom CSS to really make it look really pretty. We'll probably be using Figma as far as the design goes, and we'll also be doing Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and TikTok ads. So all that's going to be in there. This will definitely be maybe a 2 hour session, and then I will come back and maybe do another part two. So if you guys have questions throughout it, just drop it in the chat. I can see your chat messages, and I may just delete this whole thing. We don't know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to let it run. And I just thought it'd be more fun to do it with everybody than to just do it by myself. So anyway, let me go ahead and share my screen, and we will jump right into it. So hopefully, it doesn't take a whole lot longer to be streaming as well when we start this. So I'm going to try not to explain everything that we've got going on, but I'm going to try to show you guys just what is essential here for it. So let me know. Let's see. So we got a screen share, and I'm going to do this one. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just jump into Notion. I have this little dashboard of all of our current projects. And so I'm going to actually go to projects here and hit new. And I'm just going to have a new pitch. So this is kind of how we organize this. This is going to be for our July 2022 challenge. And uh, I won't get into all of how shaping works. If you're interested, you can go to basecamp.com and look up ShapeUp. It's basically how we run our whole company. But we'll build for every single project for development work, for a live event, for a funnel, for marketing. We build out a shaped pitch essentially of what's going to happen. Now, this should be for the entire kind of challenge. We've already been working on this throughout the week in a very bunch of other documents. So for this, I'm just going to be saying like we're going to basically get the tech stuff live today. So I'm just using the same template. So the first thing we're going to do is like um, uh, build the videos out. So we have three different videos. There is a landing page video. I'll call it edit. Um, and typically, when we're building out to-do lists, this is actually an example of exactly what not to do. Is just put landing page video. If you're doing a to-do list, we need to put something like, um, "What are you doing?" So, like, film that, edit landing page video, and upload to Vimeo. Uh, add to, we'll say add to funnel. So I'm going to say edit video like landing page. Let's just kind of simplify this, because some of these are going to be in different stages. Now what I'll do is just copy this. Let's just do make a edit videos. So that's a section, and we'll do like um, the landing page. I know this seems a little long to be doing it like this so early in the project, because you're like, no, yeah, we need to go edit the videos. But I have found I'm a quick start, so this is mostly for me. You know what? I forgot to share my screen. This is how live videos go. There we go. Cool. I just looked down and saw that you guys couldn't see my screen. So this is what I've been building. A little Notion document here. We have a database of all our projects. I just went up here and you can hit new pitch. I've got templates built out for this. And I'm pretty sure there it is. Pull this back up and we'll go through this. I'll open it in full screen just so we can kind of not have any distractions because our entire business is in this app. And so if I have this sidebar, it's a little distracting because there's everything else in my world listed out there. So I like to close that out and just look kind of a minimalist. So we're gonna do landing page. There's gonna be an upsell video. And now some of the stuff's already been done. So I'm just gonna kind of show you how we would have gone through this. And then there's a final like thank you page, thank you video, liked, and then so we got to do all that. That's the editing the video phase, and I like to number these. We'll go 1, and we'll do a 2 here. If you guys have any questions, just drop them in the chat. I'm just going to be working through basically building out an entire funnel for a challenge today. I'm doing it anyway, so I have just thought I may as well bring you guys along, and I'll probably just delete this if it doesn't go well. But if it's helpful to some people, awesome, and I'll hopefully bring some value. So awesome. Let's go ahead and do. Um, so we actually have to build the funnel. So that's actually the ClickFunnels piece of it. Click. I'll just do that so you guys know what I'm talking about. And we're gonna do. There's a landing page. There's gonna be a upsell page. There's and then there's a thank you page. Same kind of thing as above. I'd like to organize it in sections because I'm going to be in Premiere editing a bunch of stuff, getting all this done. Then I'm going to switch over to kind of, page mode here. Um, and I'm not going to really have to do items in here. I think what I'm going to do, it's going to make some notes for myself here. This is just going to be like an opt-in email. This is actually going to have a $37 ticket. It's also going to have a $15 recordings bump. We'll talk about what that is in a second. And then the final page is going to have a link to our tribe platform. So the other thing I have to do is actually build out um, we have a Kingdom Messenger private group that we host on a platform called Tribe Social. That's something we've built. And here I'm actually going to have to create the group. I'm going to um, upload a graphic, like a cover photo, and then we'll add the instructional video to that. There's just some kind of a welcome video, and we're going to grab the magic link. So that magic link is what's going to be here. So this needs to have there's the link to Tribe Social, to the Tribe. I'll say the group event group here. So that's what that needs to have. We're also going to have a video on that page, and that's good. So okay, so we're going to create the group. So now we've got a video to hook people in here. The other thing it's sorry, not in here, just realized. Let's bump this one to there. There's actually going to be something first here. We have ads. So these are the ones that are the least done. And we won't necessarily film that today, but stream that today. We will get that done today. We have to we typically do a 15-second ad. We film a 60-second ad. We use our phones for this, just a straight, we just use our cell phone for doing all ad videos. They just look more raw and authentic. And then I'm going to we add captions to those ads, and then um, we are essentially going to we'll just I guess upload them to capture. Yeah, I'll just say an export for now. So edit. This is all kind of one step. So what is been done is I'm just going to check these off. I have done that, and I have done, for the sake of this tutorial, I did spend an hour or so editing a first pass of these. These are not the finished videos. Maybe I'll do one of these just to kind of show you guys, and then I'll stop it and come back and do the other ones later. I just don't want it to be too boring because it's going to be the same process I do for each of these. This is like a 3-minute video. This is a 2-minute video, and this is a 60-second video. They're very quick, but I'll kind of show you my process for that. And then, so all we have to really do is export these and upload them to Vimeo. The landing page, I have a template that we're going to start with, and then I'm going to show you how I customize that. And I'm probably going to need some sort of graphics. Graphics will probably happen inside of this. There's also there's going to be a bunch of I'll just make a graphics title here. we're going to have to create a cover photo. We'll need to create a share graphic. So when you share the video on if you share the funnel page on Facebook, for example, we want some sort of picture to show up. So we normally create a little ad, as a little 16:9 ad that we use as our metadata, and that way when you share it, it kind of creates a little ad for people to click on. Um, graphics. What else? I think it's pretty good. Oh, we have emails to build out, so I'm going to have to do the email automation, uh, and we're going to create. So we need to on this page, we need to just add a we use active campaign add tag. We're going to call it, uh, and I like to use this July 2022 lead. So this is just a lead at that point. And then here, if they check out, we're going to be like add an active campaign tag here. That's for July. It's going to be July. I'll just call it July 2022 workshop. So we know that they actually purchased it. And uh, so that's it when if they, if they get the lead, and then it's if they, so I need to add that to the product. So this is a little confusing. So this will be to the add IC tag to $37 product, that when they purchase that, we're gonna have to add this as well. So we'll call it July 2022 uh, recordings. We'll add that tag, and then if they purchase there's going to be a $95, $95 upsell. If you guys are just jumping in here right now and you're wondering what on earth is going on, I'm just planning out how I'm going to launch this whole funnel today. So the first step I always do is I spend 30, 45 minutes just writing everything I'm about to do out. It's amazing how helpful that is once you kind of make all these decisions, especially if you're working with other people. It can be really helpful to spend some time together as a group putting this page together. And that way we can actually say, okay, you go take this section because this is kind of running in parallel. Someone else goes take this section. Of course, I'm going to be an army of one today doing all of this. So I'm going to do it all. But if you are working with a team, but even if you're just working with yourself, I find that working and laying this stuff out in detail is super helpful. So I'm just going to check the stream here because I just want to make sure you guys can. So there we go. Oop. There we go. Okay. So when they do upsell, we're going to say July 2022 coaching session. So that way, what will happen is I will create these tags from Clickfunnels. And when these tags are added, we're then going to need to have an email automation. So we're going to have a uh, lead, but no purchase. So we'll say like automation. And so what I'm actually going to do is make this back to 0. And I like to just bold this. And then we're going to say create automation, add. We'll have to write a check-in email like, hey, saw that you started, check out, notice you didn't purchase. We're going to include a link back if they want to come back to purchase. Then we'll wait maybe a few hours, and then we'll send them like a preview webinar link that they can go watch, like a free 1-hour thing to go kind of get used to who we are and all that. That's the lead purchase. We need to do a $15 recording automation. So this is just once they get that, we just send a receipt, to let them know they will be getting recording access after. Because a lot of times we get questions where people like, hey, I purchased this, but I don't, did it go through? Whatever, just make sure that it's in there. There's do a receipt, and then I know Stripe actually sends one for that, but $95 schedule coaching call. So, and if anyone's just joining us now, we are just jumping in and working through a whole plan for how to build a challenge in a day, and I'm just kind of going through the planning and editing phase of how to kind of get what we're going to be building today out. I've made one master to-do list that I'm going to be working through the whole session, and this also gives you guys a teaser of kind of what to expect. This was totally unplanned. I was going to do it anyway. I figured I may just hit the stream button, and if it helps someone out, awesome. So here we're going to say we're going to schedule Calendly, and we already have that. KM coaching. Okay. And if you want to know what wizardry that was, text expander, sorry, is a fantastic tool, especially if you're running challenges or if you're doing any kind of business or entrepreneurship thing. Uh, uh, Text edit is awesome. I have like for this challenge, I have things like KMWFB. So if I want the Facebook group, I just type in a few letters. If I want the funnel, I type in a few letters. If I want a coaching call with me, I can type in something like KM coaching and it just replaces it. If I want a hex code value, like I go posture gold, and that is a hex code value for the gold color we use, or I can say, a Novo dark, then that's our dark color. So if you are doing any kind of marketing by yourself, what I have learned is just to make a lot of this stuff a lot faster. Even if you have to jump to another app, look up the hex code value, come back in, just putting a little automation in there when you're typing, and especially if you are in a comment on Facebook and people, wanting to know where the link is to buy something, I can just type a few of these letters and it will just spit out the link that I need for that there. So that is super helpful if you guys are looking at want to know how that works. And that's the coaching call. And I think that's good for now. Um, Typically, we would go through like these rabbit holes of things that I'm unsure of. We've done pretty much everything on this page once before. There's not really a whole lot of unknowns. If we had started this project right at the beginning, an unknown would have been things like, or just a rabbit hole could have been something like the title of the event. Are we going to charge, what is we could say like what is the title going to be, what is the agenda. These are things that typically take the longest amount of time because there's so many different ways you can go about it. uh, you know uh, uh, is it free or paid? We can go through all of that. And so this is where you could actually just sit and just when you're planning the project, you're like, hey, these are things that are going to be it's going to be challenging to finalize these things. So we have actually done all of these ahead of time this week. So I didn't write them as a rabbit hole, but this would have been things for this type of project. This is all execution. This is just it's very much known, but you want to get all the unknowns out of the way first. So I wouldn't have started this stream if I had these unknowns because these things take days and weeks to sometimes come up with. And so uh, it's good to identify those things that you don't know way up front so you can start with those rather than get surprised 70% of the way through the project and now you're going to delay everything a week or two. So just kind of general project management strategy here. That's how I would go about doing it. So out of bounds is super helpful as well because we're not you're going to say what you're not doing as well. So we're not going to create any new Facebook groups, new domains, new website. Every entrepreneur on here can repeat after me: we're not buying a new domain. Okay. That's typically every time we do any new funnel, like, oh, I bet we could buy a new domain, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of domains now, and not a good thing to have. So if you're kind of a domain hoarder, you can drop that in the chat and let us know. We'll all be a support group for you guys. So those kind of things, we're just saying, hey, we're not going to create any new groups. We're not doing that. Sometimes when you have to say what you're not doing, it all of a sudden gets really clear about what you are doing. And so that it's been a super helpful thing. Just we're not going to do anything new. I mean, there's probably a lot of stuff we're not going to do, but it's pretty obvious because we've kind of specified that. But these are just things that if there's any doubt, when we get into the project and we're like, oh man, I wish we could use a new domain. You're just kind of like, hey, but we decided we're not going to do new domains or a new, website or funnel or anything like that. Uh, Success criteria, we typically just take a second and write out exactly what basically we'll have a successful funnel that converts traffic. That would be something you would do for that. So uh, I am currently also doing getting my pilot's license. So I love checklists, and so this has been fun. When you get into the project, you don't want to be then trying to think of, oh, do I need to do these 3 steps or that step? There's definitely gonna be some unknowns. We're gonna figure some stuff out along the way. But if you kind of stick to this, if I got all this done today, I'd be very, very happy. And I didn't even add the ads. So we're gonna do ads. Let's make a section for that. We're gonna do Facebook and Instagram will kind of go together. Instagram, and we're going to say upload. There's going to write some copy, create variations, and publish. So something like that. And we're also going to do some TikTok ads because TikTok ads have been great for us. So if you have not done TikTok before, this may be useful. And I'm a little bit jealous of whoever's watching a replay of this because they can just fast forward all of this boring stuff and kind of skip to the good stuff. Um, Maybe we'll go through and set some chapter markers or something. But yeah, essentially, we're going to do the same thing just over on TikTok. And I like to do it that way so that as I make progress, I can come here and check things off and see my progress. Okay, so this is a really good status here. I'm going to move this from shaped to now we're in progress. We're going to go ahead and start the work. And this is going to be for Kingdom Messengers. And I'm not tracking the time in here, but that is what we're doing. So Hannah's just coming to say hi. Hey, babe, how you doing? That will definitely get more people watching here if Hannah joined the stream. So, all right. Um, so let me go ahead and pull that up. Give me 1 second. All right. So let me just continue on here. Hang on 1 second. Oh dear. Well, that's what we do for getting live. Um, so that is the process right there. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to move over to the. I have to stop sharing. Let me go ahead and share this guy. Kind of show you what we've got as far as the editing goes. So hopefully this may be a little small for you guys or big, but let me turn that on. I'm gonna actually share my screen now. Okay, so what I like to do for this, we use Premiere. I'm a huge fan of Premiere. If you don't want to buy Premiere, you can buy DaVinci. I get DaVinci; it's free. Does absolutely everything that Premiere does. It's fine. Uh, so let's see here. So we have a few ads. What I do is I make a folder at the top here. We've got our upsell thank you. See how these all kind of lining up with what we just did. And to save us time, I have the raw edits here of all the outtakes and all of that. I will show you kind of how a typical edit goes for us. Let me see if I can load one of these in here. This may take a second to let's reconnect all this. Let's see. I have a better one. I can just show you. Workshop, free training. Let's see. I'll just reconnect this one, then you can see because this is a pretty good example of how we do this. Link media. So let me just take a second here. This is going to be Haven Messenger's webinar. Let me just reconnect. I don't think you guys can see this screen, but webinar. KM. Sorry, I'm a little lost here. Let me grab this real quick. Kingdom Messengers. Why am I not? I think we moved. You know what? I think I changed it to call it free training. And there's going to be add final. Come on. Webinar. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Sorry. Looking for files. This is why it's live. And this is probably not super exciting for anyone watching live. It'll be more exciting watching it on replay. So we're going to give this a second to download. It has to, we do keep everything on on Google Drive. So what we typically do, and this is what we found is a very effective way to edit your videos. Simply so you can see the baseline here is just the exact same shots as kind of what I've got going on over here. It's just a kind of a cut of all the best things. And one pro tip here is when you're recording, um, um, uh, when you're recording, you just do deliver like one line at a time. So just kind of say like, "Hey, just read this line. Keep saying that line until you get it good. Get it good. When you do that well, and then once you're done with that, then go ahead and do it again with the next line, and just kind of repeat your process through that. And what you do is when you get into the edit, you just cut this. Together so that it kind of jumps from this section. Now she's doing kind of more like a few 2 or 3 sentences, 2 or 3 sentences, maybe one sentence, 2 or 3 sentences. And then what we do when we edit it, one of the little hacks here is I'll do this. So it'll start out like this. Let's just start it. So that's the first kind of frame. And we have color correction and a bunch of stuff going on here. I won't get into all that, but uh, so she says, digital landscape is like no other. And while she's talking, then all these graphics, which have been disconnected for some reason, won't worry about that. There's just a Instagram logo, TikTok, Facebook pops up there. And so what we do is we put a adjustment layer on it. And so what's cool about this is I can now copy that, come back over to the landing page here and paste it. And now anywhere I drop this, there's that, there's that. See? So wherever I put this, here. And this is a little hack I found. And all you have to do is you go into this, you make a new adjustment layer. And then to that adjustment layer, you do something called a tint right here. So I know this may be a little small on a screen share, but what we do is we change all the black colors to our brand dark color, and we map white to whatever our main primary accent color, primary color is for our brand. So that's the gold. So immediately, if you turn this off, I do also put a black and white filter on it. So it's basically turning it to black and white. So that turned black and white, and then I just tint everything this way, and it makes a really cool background for you to lay text on top of that. And it works on literally any shot. It just looks really cool. Uh, so if I jump back here, and then you can see that we have text that says mission field like no other. So you can see how nice and crisp that looks with that background. So what this does is it lets us just rapidly edit a lot of this content, and there's some better ones in there. So for example, now I can take this, kind of just move it to wherever I want to create one of those accents, and I just double click on here and change it to whatever word you know you want right there. So then you can place it, you can time it. There are actually some examples where I think we did more of like a wipe. So it kind of like writes it on. See how there's a little animation there? And then this one comes in. So I can just take that little section. It's just 2 lines. I can jump back over here, paste it. Oops. You always want to paste over here. Whoops. Like that. Bring it over so I don't delete anything accidentally. And so, cool. So what I'm not going to do in this video is actually go through and edit all this. I will do that later, but just know that it will be turned into this. Here's a trick. We are less than a week from the challenge. Let me come in for a shot here. So we are less than a week away for a challenge, and so we need to get this thing live ASAP. We don't need to be sitting around waiting for the exact right tint of colors and all that. So I'm going to show you kind of what I would recommend is get it live as soon as possible. So these graphics, these color things, all that stuff is a nice to have. It is not essential for us to start registering people for the challenge. So what I'm going to do is export all these videos in a very raw kind of format. I may just throw some music underneath it just so that it's not totally boring, but it just keeps the pace up. And then we're gonna get it live, and then I'll come back tomorrow. But I'm gonna come back tomorrow while the ads are running, and then change out the graphics and make like a version 2. Okay, so just give yourself some slack. If it's not getting perfect, just get it out ugly. I would say as long as it's around 80% done, you're good to go. Like get it out the door. Um, because what's the worst thing I could do is spend all day now getting this stuff. It won't take all day. It'll take me about an hour per video, but that's 3 hours where, um, I could be running ads during that time, which right now we're down to days. So I do need to get these ads live ASAP. Okay. So I'm not even gonna be really creative here. I'm just gonna grab whatever music was in here. I don't think it's, too bad. I'm just gonna drop this music, back in over here, and, it's already been this is what's great about Premiere and having all your projects, everything for our entire, this whole entire organization is inside of um, this one project. So I can jump between like things we did 3 months ago are right there, and I don't have to go and just moving them. So copy paste is going to be your friend for this. And the other really cool feature, which I just learned about this, is you can enable a thing called remix. And what this will do is it'll do some magic to this clip, because you can see here that our video is longer than the music. So instead of me going and finding a longer song, I'm going to be very lazy about it, and you can actually just change the length of the song now. See, and I'm going to make it a little longer. Keep going, kind of get it to where that's the end, and I'm going to do. Let's just kind of change this up. There we go. So it's going to have some intro, and you can see these little squiggles. And what it's doing is it's looping special parts of the song, um, that we may want there, so that it can extend it. So that when you listen to it, you're not even going to be able to tell that it's been extended. And it's kind of background music, so no one's really going to be listening to it. The one thing I probably want to do then is just kill these, keep it kind of low the whole way through. Let's just do this. These are just volume adjustments. So I'll keep it kind of just looks like there's a something's happening right over here. So I'll just pull that down a hair. Um, I'm going to just turn these layers off for now. I'm going to move everything up one so I can get I will do some color correction just because Lindsay will appreciate me doing that. So I'm paste that in. Again, you see how fast that was to just drop, look at the colors. That was before. um, After. I know it's very subtle, probably not seeing it on the stream, but it just gives it some warmth and makes it look a lot more legit, more professional. And it kind of gives all our videos a very similar vibe as far as like the colors go. It's amazing how simple that is, but it goes a long way. So, see, I've hidden these text layers. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I do want to make sure we have a really good punchy start. So let me just bring this right up here. You do want to start with the first syllable. So
Do you have a kingdom message stirring in your heart right now, but you just don't know how to get it out there and share it with the world? For so many years,
So that's a little, let me just kind of bring this in like
out there and share it with the world.
kind of like
For so many
there we
years,
go. So now we're getting a little fancy. Like she said, that's her first like line, and then it comes in with,
for so
I don't know how
many
much of this you can hear on the stream, but it sounds good. Um, let's go over here, and I'm gonna need to make this a little longer now because I kind of started a little bit. I just wanted to start it. Come on, takes a little bit of playing with, but if you've ever had to extend this stuff or play with this thing, it can be way more time consuming. Um, so now I can actually go, and because it's kind of,
there and share it with the world. For so
so I'm just getting this first thing. It's kind of like when the music first comes in, it just lets
there
people,
and share it with the world. For so many
it just kind of goes with the cadence of it. Okay, so I'm obsessing over non important things. Let's move over to this. And which one a nice little ending. And I'm going to just cut this, delete that. And I think um, I'm just going to go to this. And again, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible here. So I'm going to grab all of this. This is a nice little thing that just says, get instant access below. And I'm just going to paste that in over here. And we're going to bring that in over there. Now, I'd made the mistake of just turning all these layers off. So I'm going to just kill this, move it over here for a second. and turn these all back on so that when we get to this part, you can actually see all of that. So now it's going to go
Nice challenge.
perfectly edited. And I'll leave this to run for a little bit and we'll kind of fade that out to about there. So now here, I'm just going to say, um, we'll just say the text here. And we've got, I see what's going on. So we actually need to, okay, let's change the text. I'm not sure why this is locked. Let's see. I'm just going to figure out why I can't edit this text. That should be editable. Oh, source text. Let's see. Well, again, not going to obsess about this, so we're going to create some more text. Oh, there we go. I just need to use the text tool. There's an idea. Okay, so we'll say click below to, register below to save your seat. Just something, because most people aren't going to stick around anyway to this point of the video. Okay, and then we hit the O for our out, and I've got our little in. We don't want to start with logos or graphics or any of that stuff. We want to start with her on screen.
Do
Grab
you have a
with that
kingdom?
initial question, and that actually sounds really good. It looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and export it. So I've saved that landing page here. Export media. Um, and now for this, we just go ahead and use whatever high quality settings are there. And we have I don't think you can see my Finder window. That would have been nice, but I have a very specific way of organizing. I have a project folder for the entire challenge called July 2022. And let's see here, July 2022. And then we have a thing called outputs. So this is anything uh, that is basically the end product. So I'm going to say landing page. I'm going to put V1 so we know when we come back and do our second version. And there's our clip. I'm going to go ahead and export it. And we'll let that sit for a second. It will take 3-4 minutes to export that. And while we do that, let me go ahead and share the next thing we're going to be doing, which is uploading it and getting it uh, into this. So let's go window, and I can do this one. Share this with you guys. This is our King Messenger site that is hosted on Tribe Social. It's another product we've built. So we're going to actually have the challenge is going to be in this carousel. We have a group for it essentially, and we'll have a group where people can click into that, and we'll have all the chat and the messages and the videos and everything happening inside of this private group. I'm going to get to that in a minute. And first, we want to go to Vimeo. I use Vimeo for all of our videos. I highly recommend for you to do that. Let's turn this off while I get signed in here to show you guys everything that's going on in our accounts. Let's see. Let's just get into this funnel real quick. That's cool. So I'm recording this. Hopefully, someone who's watching it later will get some value from it. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. I will be happy to answer those for you. But I just thought it would be a good exercise since I built this thing many times over. I just thought I would. So I'm building this whole funnel out today. I thought I would just show you guys how I do it and just kind of step you through how exactly I've been building these funnels, how to do the editing, all of that. And so to save on some time, I'm going to open Notion in this browser just so I can switch between it while I'm sharing stuff with you. And I don't have to keep changing my sharing stuff. So I'll go to my dashboard and we'll go to in progress. There's our challenge. And let's just open this up. Okay, so we can now go back here. We've just finished editing the landing page video. And I'll leave these off since I did an edit, but I haven't really. And so we're going to upload to Vimeo, add to the funnel. And now I have to start kind of building the funnel out, which is what I'll spend most of the time out next. So we have this one massive funnel. It's got 19 steps. It's got courses. It's got final offer stuff. And we started using this domain last year, and I just decided to stick with it because I don't want to create another domain for each of these. So we're going to create this right inside here, and I think I actually have something from last time. So this is again, don't try to reinvent the wheel each time you have this. So it's actually going to follow this sequence. You can see it right here. There's an opt-in. There's a little email icon. Then we're going to go to the checkout form where they buy the 37. Then there's going to be some sort of OTO where they upsell, and there's the order confirmation. Now this is running an on-demand free training, and I actually have traffic being run to this currently, right, today. So I don't want to mess with that too much. But what I can go in here is I can click on workshop and I can click clone funnel step. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm just going to put it way down here somewhere. Um, and now this is a little trick on ClickFunnels. Don't touch anything else just yet, but you need to add it to your funnel because if it actually gets put somewhere strange, and this will actually add it to the bottom of your page. So let me find a good spot to put this. I don't want it quite so low down. This is good. Let's go up a bit here. Okay, so there's a free training, then that. So I could technically, well, I guess I'll go through and let's just do it right now. So, and while we're here, it's not first thing you do before staying organized is the biggest struggle with these things because, so we're going to call this July 2022 challenge. So we have actually changed the word we are calling it a challenge now. We were calling it a workshop, but I'm going to just call that 2022. So we're going to say, I'll just say July 22. And then, because we don't have a lot of room to write stuff, and I'll just say opt in. So I remember what goes on here because you can see there's a lot in this list. Okay. Sorry, excuse my clear my throat. Um, so I'm going to label that. Now we can go ahead and start labeling the rest of these. I'm going to clone this. So, and let me just show you what these pages look like to start with. Let me jump over to this one. Just click this little link over there. So we have some sort of headline. This is for the on demands. People can just go straight to buying it, and we put the 37 there directly so people know exactly what it is. I'm going to change this up a bit. There's our video, and then there's a little opt-in form. We've got testimonials about us. We've got attendees giving some social proof. We've got our agenda, and we've got this whole message from Lindsay. We need to update this. So as I'm going through it, I'm going to see that number is now 120,000. So we need to update that. More testimonials. Hey, launch with us. Frequently asked questions. So honestly, 80% of this page is going to be identical for our next challenge. And that's why we're able to do this in a day. It is a new type of challenge, but it's not the first time we're doing it this way. They would then opt in, and then they get a little list of everything. I think pretty sure I copied one of Pedro's 100x workshops for this. I did not even try to reinvent the wheel. This one it works great for us. So it just immediately starts with like, hey, wait to complete, and then you can up. So there'll probably be the only thing that's different about this one that we'll be adding is actually having a video at the top. And this was for a free challenge. So what was happening is people would opt in for free, and then they were technically registered. But if they wanted to, anyway, so that's how it's going to work. We're going to just basically do. Um, sorry, this is the order form. No up. This needs to say put your credit card in and finish the purchase. And then this one is going to be the upsell where we go upsell here. This is where that video is going to be. So I got a little confused there. And this I think just has one video at the top. Yep, perfect. So it just says like, hey, would you want to upgrade your order? We've got the video here. So that's where I'll swap that video out. And they have a big button. Yes, add this to my cart. No, I don't want this. And if they click the no, I don't want this, they get taken to a page like this. And then we can go create our account. Now, I actually also have a video on the thank you page here just to make it a little bit nicer. So we'll be adding that as well. So we've got don't know. I think I was going a little fast. I can't remember if I duplicated this, but we'll go ahead and clone it. And then we'll go add to funnel. But again, before we do anything, we're going to call it July 2022. And we'll call it, you know what? The pricing is just what I know that page for. So this is just for me. So do what's easiest for you. If you guys have questions about ClickFunnels or anything I'm doing, or you have something you'd want to see how we do it, just drop in the chat. Even if you're not able to stick around for the whole stream, you just drop it in the chat. I will respond to it at some point, or I'll come back and reply in a comment. Just tag me in it, and I'll be happy to do that for you. And let's see here. So we got 37. There's our upsell, and then we want. Oh, here's the upsell. It does make it a little easier. Like it said, see, like we put everything in our one Premiere project. We have everything in one funnel. We don't have to, I think what people do, it kind of make, I've seen people make it really hard on themselves to have all these things in different places. And you end up not really leveraging how to streamline the tool most effectively. So some of these tools they just work really well in a particular workflow. And so if you kind of can figure out what that intended workflow is going to be, you can save yourself a lot of time. So I'm going to call this the 95. Let's say upsell. And then I just need my order confirmation. So we've actually got a functional page at this point that we could send someone to and technically take their payment. I have to add a product and a few automations, but this is technically functional. I would not send people to it yet because all the text is wrong and the graphics and the videos and all that. But we're going to go here. This will be July 2022. Thank you. Just keeping it short so we can squeeze it into this little sidebar text. They don't give you a lot of room to write. Okay, so opt-in 37, upsell, thank you. This is a great little sequence. Some people will add a downsell there as well. We have plenty going on here. This is going to be plenty for what we're doing. Okay, so this is good to start editing. Now we can go ahead and upload our video. I think I had Vimeo pulled up. Let's log in. If you're doing any kind of work like this, 1Password is amazing for just getting in and out of stuff really quick. Like I said, I really like Vimeo for these landing. I noticed Russell Brunson uses Vimeo for all of his stuff. It seems to just play the best. I tried YouTube, we tried Wistia, we tried embedding a native like MP4. Vimeo just seems to work on more devices than anything. So I can actually just drag our video. Now from outputs, we have a video here. Okay, so maybe watch me uploading a video. Let's jump back over to this. Opt in now. Again, let's clear off this. I definitely want to keep that. I can clear. Take time, delete some tabs, do yourself a favor. We'll leave ads up there. We'll come back to that in a second. So one thing I like to do is immediately when you get in here, just hold down Command if you're on a Mac. I think it's Control on a PC, and before you click that. So what it did is just open it in a new tab because I want to leave this tab there for my reference. I can always come back to it really easily. You end up jumping between all these pages a million times, so there's no need to do that. So that way I can be editing this one. I could be editing this one. I can save. I can go back, but I still can reference my top level uh, list of things there. So this is just kind of like little shortcuts that they're small, but if you put a lot of these things together, it will save you a ton of time. So videos coming in here. It'll be done in a second. The video is going to go in there, and we're going to go ahead and that's where the Vimeo video is going to go. And we actually have some text. Again, cheating a little bit here because we had some of the notes, and they're actually on my notebook right here. Okay, so we had this is going to be called the so we're gonna have a little title. Let's do this. Let's go plus and sub. Nope. Let's do paragraph. We'll say the Kingdom Messenger 3 day 3 day challenge. Now this no one cares about. Not important. What we're going to spend more time on is the actual headline. This is just sort of a little something I like to go in here advanced. I like to change the letter spacing to spread it out a little bit, and we'll make it a little bigger. Okay. And now we have a tagline, which I thought it was in my notes. Let me just see. Let me get that. Um, um, I will ask Lindsay for it. I think maybe it was on her computer. So I think I'll put something basic in here. I kind of remember what it was, but it's like um, share your message with a stadium. Oh, I know exactly where it is. I texted it to a friend to get some feedback. That's where I'll get it. Um, so we'll go. It was called the Kingdom Messenger 3 day challenge. How to reach. This is good. These things take this sentence took us 2 hours to write. How to reach um, stadium sized audience with the message stirring in your heart. I don't think reach a stadium sized. Yeah, that's fine. Grammarly is your friend. Um, let's go ahead and just make this a little wider. How to reach and I like to emphasize some stuff, a stadium sized audience with the message stirring in your heart. And we may even just say, okay, um, stirring in your heart. So that's going to be the tagline. Um, and then I think so. This is kind of what that tagline was. But I think a lot of times I see people put the title huge like this, and they have this amazing subtitle for their challenge, and it's sitting as a tiny little point there. So I'm going to delete this. We want people to watch the video first. And I'm going to say something like, if you guys have seen our challenges, I'm a little obsessed with the emojis because I think it just sort of interrupts the pattern here, the design pattern. So I'm going to lower this here. If you want to do this little overlappy thing, it's kind of a little hack, but you go in and you set a negative top margin, and it will drag it up and above the the fold here. So you kind of have to know what you're doing with this stuff. See, like I said, um, doesn't work every time. So what you want to do is just kind of adjust this. That's why that was there. So that's what this was for. Just to get that off there. Hacking is fun, but you got to kind of know what you're doing when you start hacking with stuff like that. Um, so we're going to change this language. Join us. Save your seat for. Oh, you know what we didn't have? It's the dates. We definitely want that. Um, I should have put some background music on. Why don't we do that? Because then I can at least listen to it. Um, There you go. That's more fun. I forgot we could do that in Restream. It's gonna leave this really low. If it gets too loud, just let me know. Okay, so save your seat. Oh, we were gonna add the title, so or the dates. So when you come in here, one thing I'm a huge fan of as well is don't create new elements. Just come in here and duplicate a bunch of stuff because it's already got the colors set to white. We're gonna say July. I think it's the 27th. Look at my calendar real quick. 27th through the 29th. July 27th to 29. Okay. There we go. And then maybe I'll. That's a little smaller. These are just changing the sizes of the fonts. Kind of, you don't want things competing. There's a whole thing on. I'm not gonna get into design stuff, but like, let's do. So you kind of group this thing below that. It kind of looks more like a. Those all go together, and then there's a new section down here. So save your seat for our 3-day challenge. I think we had some good. I wrote down some really good headline subheading we'll use later in the. Here we go. Let's make this bigger. So just if you're kind of wondering, like, how did I get this to use these fonts and all that? It only took a number of very boring hours to write a whole custom CSS for this. So I actually wrote all this code here to essentially show to basically use specific fonts that we have hosted on our own servers. I actually overwrote a lot of the settings, so now we were doing so many of these pages, it just made sense to do this. If you just go randomly here and you hit plus and you hit headline, it's going to be a particular font there. So it's got that this brand font that we use for Kingdom Messengers and the text. And so if I just create a button, for example, like that font, and even when I hover over it, it does a little animation, like all that's being set by the custom CSS. So definitely helpful to have. It's not worth learning CSS, I would say, to do that. If you know how to do it, awesome, go ahead and use it, but don't like, this is kind of fancy stuff. And it just made us, in my opinion, like, having this custom CSS is what allowed us to actually keep using ClickFunnels, because I wasn't really a fan of all of the ugly ClickFunnel artwork and stuff. So I mean, the generally when you open ClickFunnels, everything looks ugly. So I've just tried to make it better. We are going to use a different image here. I don't know if I have it in ClickFunnels. I have so much stuff in here, and there's not really a good way to organize it. Let's see. Okay, I will find it on my computer. But we have a really cool graphic, which is a picture of 10,000 people in an arena. So that's what I'm going to be using. So this is probably a good chance to flip over to Figma. I'm going to do this in the browser. I'm not a fan of using the browser for Figma, but if you, but because I'm doing a screen share, I don't want to be jumping between different apps by stopping and starting the screen share. So we'll go to this, and every single thing for Kingdom Messengers in this one massive project. And so you can see, for example, these are all slides, they're headings, they're like Facebook cover photos. I just love having everything on one massive board here. So if I need a picture of, I guess, speaker that we've had, if I need something that we've done, I can just grab it here from Figma. We just recently did a bunch of free training, so all these little graphics that we use, I'm able to just drop those back into Figma. To other projects and stuff very quickly, and these all get exported as PNGs right out of here, and that's that. So TikTok challenge, you can see we did a whole different brand for TikTok. I wouldn't I wouldn't do a whole nother brand again. That was ended up being a ton of work. We try to keep to the same sort of branding to simplify things. Okay, so let's go to I think it's under community is where we've been doing this. I'm just gonna kind of start a new section here. Do I not have this picture somewhere? I think we do here. There it is. So, for example, I don't have to go look on my computer for this. I can just grab this, and we don't really need the. I just want to use it as a background. So, a couple of quick things we could do to this. Um, First, I'm gonna get rid of all that. Let's move this off. Okay. Oh my goodness. Taking this shape apart point by. Okay, there we go. Um, you know what? And this is why we're gonna have to. Okay, I'm not used to using this little sidebar. Everything's in a kind of a different spot on. Anyway, we're gonna go object. Okay, I'm gonna give this like a minute or two, and we're probably gonna end up moving. I think you can just. I'm looking for a different. I think you can. Oh, frame selection. There we go. So that's something we can. Let's bring this back out here. Okay, so we've got a little frame here. I'm gonna call this. We're gonna call this 10K audience. And so what I can do now, this is actually an artboard. So if I drag this in there, I can change now a background color for this. So I'm going to set that to our dark color. I can then fade this. Sorry, not that, but the image. This image, we can fade that down. So already that's actually looking pretty good because it's now like, I don't want it to be competing with all this text up here. So I'm going to actually also just go to the image. One little trick as well, you desaturate it like that. And see, just taking the saturation down, now it's kind of monotone and you've got this blue tint to it. So honestly, like I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Let me just bump the contrast a hair. The only problem is this is a picture of a tennis match. I wish there was someone on a stage. Okay, well, the other way to fix this is we just crop. Yeah, this is going to work fine because we are doing like a very wide. So what's in the section here is what we're going to export. So I'm probably going to do something like that, and I can move this there. I just really want to see that there are people there. And now I can click on this frame. We can hit export to PNG, and again, you can't see. Oh, it's not going to like me doing it in the browser. I can see already. Okay, I'm just going to export this, and we're going to drop it into Clickfunnels. If you guys are jumping on here, we're just building out an entire challenge funnel, the ads, the videos, everything today. This is a part one where we've just been planning and editing and starting to get the content into Clickfunnels. And I have to do it anyway, so I figured this is gonna be useful to someone in the future. Maybe I'll pass this off to my team, this video, and then they can build the next one. That's worth doing it right there, just for that reason. Okay, so let's jump in here. I'm just going to save this. Okay, and we're back into the funnel. So now we go here. I'm going to change the background picture, hit upload. Okay, so this is a little bug I have noticed recently with Mac and Chrome. When you click add image, it actually isn't letting you upload it. Let me see if I can just drag something in there. Probably will let me do that. But if you ever have that where you click upload and nothing pops up, this is definitely a bug with Chrome, maybe just my computer. Just go in and quit Chrome, open Chrome again, and it will fix itself. And that didn't work. Perfect. It didn't even export the right picture. So I'm going to quit. Let me save everything. Save this. We didn't make any changes here yet. And so I'm just going to quit this. I'm going to have to stop my share for a second. And oh, I can't quit Chrome because we are streaming right now through Chrome. That is going to be a predicament. Well, okay. We will. I'm going to move this over to Safari. So this is how things go. Sometimes you just work around the tech bugs. Don't let them hold you back. Okay, so let's share Safari now. Okay, we're now in Safari. Oh, I need to share my screen. And the show goes on. So the trick is not letting these little tech things get in your way. Open that in a new tab. And hopefully this is going to work. This is all to upload one picture. Then I'll probably keep building and there we go. So it's actually is popping up the link, the find window. So I can grab my picture, upload it. And it's the wrong size because I forgot to say clip content. Okay. So there's a checkbox in Figma that I missed. And now one little trick, if you ever do need to upload a second version of this, Clickfunnels is picky. Do not name the file the same file name or else it will not upload. So I called this 10K audience 2.png. And that's how I would do that. Oh, there we go. Oh, you can even change the music while we're going. Okay, here. So add image. Boom. That looks perfect. So I just got this cool stadium size. We got the stadium back there. I like how that looks a lot. Let's go ahead and share back to my Chrome here. Now, I'm not going to save this. I just want to refresh this. And yes, I do want to let it overwrite because I have saved it. There we go. Okay, so now we're back in Chrome. All that to do this one video, that one image that's not uploading. And we're going to pick a better thumbnail because Lindsay won't like that. Well, let's go through this in settings. Let's go to advanced. So this little video link right there is all we need. Privacy, you can copy these settings, hide from Vimeo, anywhere, anyone. That's what we want set. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to paste this right there. Hit save. Now, one thing that I would take a minute to do is we're going to make a really nice thumbnail because this is a huge area of your screen that is being underutilized. So let's go to workshop. This is a trick I think I got from a little tip from Steven Diaz. So you can see, so we did a thumbnail here where you can kind of see all the things up here. I think I did one for on demand here that just says, do you have a kingdom message stirring in your heart? Like a question like that. So it's just a huge space. And you see, I actually add this big triangle as well back here. And if you click anywhere on this, I believe, so let me ask, it's not always perfect, but yeah. So we're going to create a thumbnail for that. I will grab, and I already have templates for this, so I don't have to get too creative. See here. There's the one we just looked at. And I will probably grab, I do like, this is fine for now. I'm just gonna I kind of keep everything together, just on the, kind of think of it like a giant whiteboard with all your stuff. So Cool. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm just gonna be working through how to build this funnel out to see we got a couple people watching right now. I can see your chat. Hopefully that will show up. So all we have to do here is I'm going to change this back to KM July 22 thumb, and we're going to open this up. This is what's nice about Figma. You know, I know people use Canva. I'm not a fan because this just is a little bit more powerful. For example, I can toggle these different layers just really fast. So you can see we actually have this is going back to like last year in January, so almost a year and a half old is this one layer still sitting in there. But it just lets us quickly change this out. So I'm going to grab a thumbnail. I will show you guys how to do that just for fun. So we're playing. I have to share each app separately and then have to share. Okay. So if you're in your sequence, typically somewhere in the beginning, and for Lindsay, we do a lot of stuff together, so I know that she's gonna have like some good smile that she pauses before she starts. So you can see I just go left and right. That's probably fine. And then there's a little camera icon here that says export frame. And I can actually export this directly to and I have a GFX folder that I put everything in. Okay. And so that just exports that one frame. Oh, and I did forget to put the color filter. Let me do that one more time. Okay. So back to, I wish I could have like multiple screens shared at the same time, but I didn't really plan for that. Okay, and back to share. All right. So now we need to bring that in here. I think I can I'm not really use the browser that often, so this is why we're just experimenting. So I'm going to do this. Okay, and then all I have to do is drag it down to that layer. So that's not terrible, but what I don't really, that's not really the theme. So let's actually change this. Let's do the same thing. We're going to take the saturation down. So we kind of have that theme going on. And let's back this off. I'm just going to take the opacity down. And I think that the background color here is actually the gold. So we actually want this to be that dark color. Now I don't want it to look scary. So let's bring this back up. And I think I'm going to change this to a multiply. Nope. Lighten. You can change these different blend modes. I don't have one that I'm like just use this and it always works. I kind of like to just look at it and see. It's more when you start to fade it, then that's where it starts to. Yeah. I think it's going from being kind of creepy to really creepy. So I think we're going the wrong direction. Let's go. There we go. That's what's missing, just to really bump that contrast up. Now I think I can probably fade this down. Okay. I will think of a much, what was her first question? Let's go back to that video. She says,
Do you have a kingdom message?
Wow, at least we're consistent. Do you have a kingdom string? So we're going to go with that. Again, I'm going to have to jump over to my desktop version of this to export it. This is just a 16:9 graphic, 1920 1080. And what we're doing is we're exporting them from Figma. And I'm going to bring it back over into, I'm going to bring it, actually all I have to do is bring it into Vimeo. So let's hope that we can upload a Vimeo thumbnail with the way that my Chrome is kind of bugging out right now. So if I click upload and we're having the same problem, that's unfortunate. I wish I was streaming from a different browser so we could undo that, but we will just go over to Safari again. Thanks for hanging out with all these fun little bugs. Safari. Oh, and okay, good. I was thinking for a second it was going to ask me to have to verify that. Thinks it's my first video. Let's jump into this. Oh, I always forget. Click share and you got to hit share again, second time. Settings, advanced. These are small things, but they make a difference when you're building this stuff out. So, and again, just getting a version up. This version has cuts in it and all that, so it's just like a hard cut to the next clip. I really am like blowing through a lot of stuff that I would have spent an hour or so getting just right on this video. And while we're talking about the video, let's jump back into Premiere for a second and show you a little bit of what I would do next, just to finish this off because it's top of mind right now. We have these cuts, so let me just play it.
Launching into that call. I had prophetic
So it's just a little jump. And so what we'd want to do is, one, this needs to be a little tighter. So it's, see how her cadence is talking. The space between where she says the last word and the next needs to be somewhat similar. And typically what we do is actually favor the new clip a little bit. So I would do something like this. And then this isn't changing enough. So what we'll typically do here is I just bump in like 10% or 15%. Let's try that. And then I can pan up a little bit and then watch this. And I forgot to share that again. Guys, this is gonna be the whole theme of this video, is me forgetting to share the screen. Okay, so this is what it is. All I did was it set like that, and then I zoomed this in. See, I just clicked on this and I changed the scale. You can scale it in and up like that. And then I pushed it up just a hair. And so what it does now is it's here. It's kind of strange because the text off here.
I had prophetic words spoken over my life saying, I had prophetic words.
So that's a little bit of a very advanced edit. What I just did there is you actually pull the video from the next clip over, just because she gets kind of in the word here, saying,
I had prophetic words spoken over my life.
I'm not actually sure why that.
I had prophetic words spoken over my life, saying that I would reach thousands of people all over the world with the good news of the gospel.
There we go. So what I would do is just kind of see how that just jumps a little bit. It kind of just cuts in, and then I would go to the next one and basically reverse that. So we would say,
to reach a lot of disciple nations, to reach a lot the internet to disciple nations, to reach a lot of people.
So we'll cut like this. And this one now cuts back out. So we go from in to out.
To reach
I'm going to have to go and do a lot of little tweaks to this because it's a little goofy how this is.
To reach a lot of people where they spend a lot of their time. Here, online, on their screen.
So I actually have some cool clips from previous videos I already know are in here. For example, there's someone, I think, working on their phone. I think I did that somewhere where she talked about, so we're promoting the same kind of thing. So there's tends to be a lot of like imagery I find once, and I just use that imagery over and over again. And that's how we would go about it. I don't see it actually in this. It was probably in a TikTok video, I think. You can see it's the same format, so all of this is very easy to grab. Every time I click to a new project, it's going and downloading all the videos. So there's a a video of someone filming themselves with an iPhone, which is we'll probably come back and use that again. Where this is all about TikTok's not for dance videos. Probably don't need that clip. There's one here. Sorry, I'm kind of like finding it in. Okay, so that could work. That could be our. So I guess copy over to this. I would come in here and basically add this to this, wherever she was saying.
The disciple nations to reach a lot of people where they spend a lot of their time here, online, on their screens. And
so on their screen. So we'll do something like I'll come and do the treatment and all the fun stuff later. I'm not export this now, but I just wanted to show you how I would. This is what I don't like about the current video that's in there, is it doesn't have any of these cuts, so it doesn't feel smooth. It's going to look very much like she did a sentence and then stopped and then a sentence and so forth. So I would try to make it look as punchy as possible, because this is the first time people are watching your content, and so it's good to just have it be as punchy and to the point as possible. So that's something I would do to the video. I'm not going to do it in this tutorial or this training, but that's now in there. I think we did this. Did we look at this already? Okay, let's check some things off. We added it to the funnel. Landing page is kind of being in progress here. Those are some notes. Let's click preview here. Okay, so things like this little, I know people love, I've seen this before, and like, how did you get it to be, rounded corners of a video? It just looks a little cooler. That's that part of that custom CSS. If you want it, rounded corners right there. I'll drop that in the chat. I don't know if it'll work to send it to Facebook. Oh, it's going to YouTube, so someone will grab it somewhere. You can also just sit there and type it out. But what you would do is, I have it in a separate file. That's kind of way overkill. You just go to settings, custom CSS, paste it in right there, and that will round all of your videos. Cool. That's actually a shadow. I think that was mislabeled. Now that I'm looking at that, wow. Here it is. You need this one as well. Oh, there's a whole section here I missed. So let's paste that in. There we go. You need that whole section. It's everything right there. Let me blow this up in case you wanted to just write it out. Pause the video, take some time. You'll have rounded corners on every video you add if you put this in here. So it's just a few lines of code. Just type it in exactly like you see it there, and you'll be good to go. You're not going to see it on this page, but you will see it when you load the page out here. Okay, so at this point, there's a lot of boring stuff to do. I'm trying to figure out how to keep this as exciting and useful as possible. What are we at time-wise? 1 hour and 20 minutes. So we're doing great. We will have to stop here in about 10 minutes because we are doing another coaching call here in the studio, which I need to prepare for. So at this point, we have our landing page. Let's do a couple more things to this page before we're done. And I'm just going to do a lot more still. We have to change copy and a lot of other things. But one quick thing that I like to do. Ooh, there's a real life Clickfunnels bug. Let's refresh this. There we go. If you click, people end up with these really ugly URLs when they're working on Clickfunnels. You don't need to do that. We can make a nice human readable link, because you're going to be sharing this to a lot of different places. So don't change it at the publishing level. Don't change it at the at the funnel level, obviously, you want to change it on this exact this page level. So I'm going to change this to July 2022. So now it's going to be on demand workshop. If I click the little this button, don't click that one. That that will take you to a preview of the page like we're looking at here, which is going to be something. Sorry, this one app.funnel preview. Blah 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 blah. You want to click on this one. And I won't get into why that is for ClickFunnels, but you'll see here now the URL is nice and clean, July 2022. Every other URL is just a redirect. So this workshop on demand, blah, 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 which no one will ever see, is just a redirect to this. We're not doing any A/B testing, so that's not going to be a factor. In fact, let's go ahead and just delete this. No one needs that. Just make it so there's no chance that could be accidentally seen. And that's the path. So we like a nice clean path. And we obviously need to go through and clean up all of the text here. So I think I'm going to stop there. This will be part 1, and we'll do a part 2 at a later time. So we'll stop there. Thanks.